Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for watching. Mind Your Business with DERLINE Pierre-LOUIS. I am DERLINE Pierre-LOUIS. I want to thank you for always supporting us and for your suggestions and questions and topics. It is very important that we know what your needs are so that we're not talking to ourselves. We've been doing this business for a very long time. We've been in business for a very long time. So a lot of times things become second nature to us. But to you who's a startup business, or you're just new to the tax world, let's say you just graduated college, you have your first job, and now you want to prepare your tax returns on your own, or you're still a dependent of your parents, there are different type of rules that pertain to you. So if you make a certain amount of income, your parents can no longer claim you, even if you're not of the 25-year-old age or 26-year-old age for insurance. So these are things that you can contact our office for and ask for a consultation, and we can talk to you about that. But today my topic is the difference between tax preparation and tax planning. Big difference. So we'll start off by saying, when you come to our office, or you call, or you get your W-2, your 1099 INT, which is interest, 1099-D, which is dividend, 1099-B, which is from a brokerage firm. If you went to the casino and you won some money, they might give you a W-2G, which is gambling income. There's so many different forms. And so this is so new to you that you don't know what these forms are for. There's a saying, if you want to put something important, if you want to hide something important, you put it in a book. I'm going to change that to say, anything important worth knowing is in writing. So that means when you look at the form that has been given to you, whether from your job, a W-2, whether from your contractual job, a 1099 NEC, which is non-employee compensation, there's also 1099 miscellaneous. So these forms, the 1099 miscellaneous used to be given to everybody. It was like a pot of so many different royalties, dividends, non-employee compensation, and now it's been broken up into sub accounts again. So the 1099 NEC is for non-employee compensation. The 1099 miscellaneous, that covers if you wrote a book, or you wrote a song and somebody keeps using it and you're getting royalties. If you have real estate and you are contracted with the state or the county and you're getting subsidized housing assistance like Section 8, you may get a 1099 miscellaneous, and I believe it's in box 3 or 4 that gives you that income. Royalties is in box 1. So you get all these different forms. You don't know what they mean. You don't know what the codes are. If you got a 1099-R, distribution from a retirement plan or a pension, guess what? The back of that form has so much information. It is a wealth of knowledge. It explains every single box, what content are in each box, and what do they need. So please, my people, who want to save money, who want to make money, who want to make their money work for them, you need to understand the importance of reading. So you get all these forms, you contact your preparer, you contact your CPA, you contact your tax strategist, whoever you use to prepare your return, and you give it to them. They compile all these numbers into a software. There's various softwares out there, and then it generates a form 1040. The 1040 is a combination of all these other forms that have been entered into the system, and the 1040 is a summary. So some of you may have 1040, you may have a 1040 that has schedules. So Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3. And you may have a simple 1040 because all you have is a W-2 and you don't have any additional income, you don't have any additional expenses, you just have your straight W-2. So more likely our college student that don't own a property yet, that don't have a rental property. And even then, some of you may have student loan payments that you're making. You're paying interest. So the payment that you make to your student loan company, not all of it is deductible. A portion of your interest is deductible depending on your income. So there's a lot of little formulas that go into preparing your return that determines how much of it you get. So let's say you have a scholarship your senior year in school. So all those years, freshman, sophomore, junior, maybe even your senior year, depending on your age, and if you earned any income, your parents were claiming that 1098 form for you. Tuition. 1098T is tuition. And so if they were getting that, they're putting it on their tax return because more than likely they paid that the difference that your scholarship didn't cover. But once you graduate and you land that job and your profession and your degree and you're making some money, and let's say you have that right after college or maybe a year later, you can now claim that form on your tax return. So the difference between tax preparation and tax planning. So tax preparation, the word says to prepare. Preparation, that's what that is. So you're going to bring all those documents to a professional and they're going to prepare the tax return for you, which is your 1040. Sometimes there's other forms that compile behind the 1040. If you have the interest, earned interest, so all that is claimed. If you have your 1099 INT, 1099 dividend, maybe you're in college and you were investing in cryptocurrency, or you were doing some Robinhood, investment, learning, testing the waters. They may give you a form 1098 INT or 1099 DIV for dividends. But here's the deal. A lot of these companies are not mailing these forms out. Because you have a login, you have a platform, you have an account, you're supposed to go log into your platform, click on tax documents, and print your 1099 on your own. In fact, in our office, we prefer you not print them because we have a secured platform, a portal that you can send these documents to us. So you submit it, so you download it, save it in a folder on your computer. Please, I know you all love your phones, and I know they work wonders and they're miracle workers, but you need to invest in a laptop if you don't have one. You need to invest in a small little computer if you don't have one. Even if you don't use it for anything else, use your phone for everything, but save those documents there. That way you can have a folder for 2024, 2025, 2023, whatever the year is that you're preparing your return. Save those documents in there. And then when we prepare your tax return, we electronically file it for you. We send you an emailed copy, or we can give you access to it through the portal. So that way it stays more secure than just through an email. So you get that and you can download it and save it with your supporting documents that you sent to us because you already have a folder for it. That way you keep everything together. If you get a letter from the IRS and they're asking you questions about tax year 2022, you click on your folder 2022 and you pull up your tax document, you compare it to the letter they're sending you, and you compare apple to apple, line by line. And if you're not sure about it, you give us a call. If we're the one who prepared it for you, we'll gladly take a look at the letter, compare, find out what they're asking you, and help you submit whatever is missing, or explain to you what it is that they're asking you for, and help you by supporting you. If we were not the one who prepared it for you, we suggest that you go to the person who prepared it. Because if that tax return needs to be amended, then we have to charge you to prepare that return for you and amend it for you. So it's best to go back to the person you've already paid, who already did the initial work. They already have it in their system. So tax preparation is gathering all of your documents, all of your financials. If you work for yourself and you have your own profit and loss and balance sheet, then you would turn that into us, and we would put that into the system, and we would talk to you, review the lines, and give you suggestions on how to do better next year. Okay, so now we file the tax return, and tax preparation happens after the fact. So in 2024, you're preparing taxes for the year before, which is 2023. 2025, you're preparing tax returns for the year before of 2024. So any expenses, anything that you paid in the year 2023 or the year 2024, you get to claim it in the previous year. So the first 4 months of the year is when you can prepare your tax return for the previous year. So we're working after the fact. You've already got this income. You've already invested this money. You've already went to the casino and you gambled and you lost some money, but you won some money too. So you already did that. So it's in the past. So what we're doing is we're recording what transpired, what happened in the year before, and then we're compiling everything together, and we're putting them cute together in a 1040, which is usually two pages, and then that way we submit it to the IRS for you. But tax planning is the sweet spot. Tax planning, exactly what the word says, planning. You are planning for what is to come. You are in the driver's seat, and you're going to tell your money and your investment and your college fund and your retirement where you want them to go. Now, we don't have complete total 100% of our plans, but I think it's Ben Franklin who says a failure to plan is planning to fail. So if you don't plan, it's going to happen anyways. So you either get ahead of it and you prepare for it and you aspire your goal, you set your goals and your determination, or you just wait till the year ends and whatever happened and you put it together in a 1044. So here's how tax planning works. You set up an appointment with us. We do a discovery call with you. We see where you're at, what you want to do, what your goals are, and so forth. Then we schedule another appointment with you that's more in depth when you have more time, anywhere from 40 to 45 minutes. And there's a few documents that you need to have in place. So if you're newly out of college and you landed your dream job and you're making $150,000, $200,000, you're single, no children, no home, no investment property, you want to plan because your tax bracket is going to be super high. And so what happens a lot of time with young professionals is that they depend on their parents. And sometimes don't blame your parents. Your parents can only give you what they have, what they know. And if they are learning, they're probably learning this after the fact too. So not right after they got out of college and somebody sat down with them and planned this, or even before you graduate and you're already interviewing for jobs. So let's say we're talking to your parents now. Their planning is different than your planning. Your planning is, I want to put money aside so I can buy a house. I want to put money aside so I can relocate, or maybe do research, maybe start my own business. Maybe you want to move from where you're at. You want to see what the market is in another state, in another country. So you don't just get up and buy a plane ticket and go. You check out the hotels there. You check out the rental properties there. You check out short-term Airbnb, long-term Airbnb, or short-term rental. There are people that are traveling 2-3 months out of the year, and maybe this is an opportunity for you to house sit. When I tell you, it's so vast and so broad and so big, and it's so cool because you get to get in the driver's seat and you dictate how you want your life to be to the best of your ability. So when you're planning, you're looking at what you currently have right now. Where do you want to go? 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. So your goal is to retire. Let's say you're out of college and you're 24, 26 years old. Your goal is to retire. When I say retire, I mean to retire from the job that you went to school for or that you're currently doing, to being able to have the time freedom and the money freedom to do what you really, really love. Or better yet, you can just step into what you really love and call it a day. That would be my goal and my aspiration for you. So when you're planning, when you're doing a tax plan, you are looking at all this. Do I want to buy a house in 2-3 years? Do I want to buy a better car in 2 years or 3 years? Do I want to lease a car? Do I want to set money aside for retirement? How much do I want to set aside for retirement? What's the maximum that I can put away, without, causing any red flags, or even investing in a life insurance plan, an IUL, or even setting money aside to do an investment or to join somebody else's business and partner up with them? What is it that you want to do? Just like how when we're looking to lose weight or manage our weight or manage our time, allocate time. You write it down, and that's what that is. So we write all this down. Maybe because you're earning $150,000, $200,000, you've been doing this since you were in the middle school years, or high school. You have expertise in this field already. With now, intellectual property is such a big thing. You can start a business while you have your job and provide counseling or coaching or mentorship to someone who wants to get into that industry, and that will help you write off some of your expenses from your tax that you'll get being single and earning $200,000. So that's what we do. We sit with you, we strategize, we plan. So whereas tax preparation is, these things already happened, I already invested the money, I lost the money, I made some money, I worked for this job, I have a W-2 or a 1099, now we're putting it together and we're preparing a tax return. Tax planning allows you to plan. You're planning ahead. You're projecting what you want to see your life like. Does that mean there's not going to be curveballs? Of course. We don't have complete control of our lives. What we can control, we control. And that's the planning part. And that's why Benjamin Franklin said, failure to plan is planning to fail. So if you don't sit down and plan your day, if you don't sit down and plan the activities that need to be done in order for you to finish a project, if you don't plan on how you're going to strategize finishing college. So let's say you were in college, you had to leave, you had a couple kids, you got married, and now you want to go back. So you have to have a calendar together. You have to have time for yourself, time for your significant other, time for a child or children, depending on how many you have, and then time for you to actually take the class and then do the homework for the class. I've been there, so that's why I can totally tell you this. I had the whole shebang, and my schedule was meticulous. So people would call and invite me to things. I already have my schedule planned. So there's a good illustration, and I've done it over the years when I've gone to speaking events, and it's about having a jar, and the big rocks are the important things in your life. So your important things. So if we're going to do this with budgeting, with finance, so your big ticket items are going to be a place to live, your food, the utilities, your transportation, those kind of things are going to be your big rocks. So once you prioritize your big rocks first, you put them in the jar. Then what are the next things? Your next things are your hanging out with friends and family, spending time, going to the gym, working out, because you can go walking. Those other things that are important to you, but they take, I want to say, second place, because I'm sure going to the gym would take a second place to you having a roof over your head. Okay, so that would be the smaller, medium rocks. So you put those in the jar. Now the jar looks full because the big rocks took a lot of space, and then the medium rocks took some more space, but there's still room because now you can put the sand. The sand are the activities that you like to do, the little pampering things, hanging out with your friends, maybe even travel. So it depends on how you plan your life. Travel may be the smaller rocks, and then travel may be the sand. Whatever way, we're not telling you how to do it, but what we're telling you is you need to prioritize your life. So if this was a budgeting strategy, that's what we would do. So we'd open the jar, which is our life. We put the big things in place. So if you're managing your time, you put the things that need to be done today or need to be done this week. So you may have a project that's due on Friday, but there's like 5 different steps that need to be done before you can finalize the project. So what's the most important thing that needs to be done to finalize that needs to get done in order for you to be able to do step 2, step 3, step 4 to 5 to finalize the project? So that would be your big rocks. And then step 2 would be your medium rocks, maybe still part of your big rocks. So we're going to stick with the budget analysis. So you have your housing, you have your food, shelter, clothing, and transportation. Then you have your eating out, hanging out with friends and so forth, and you're traveling. And then those are the small rocks. Then you have the sand. The sand are everything else, going to the gym, hanging out with friends, social media, and so forth. So you fill those in. And it looks like, oh my God, this jar is completely full. There's no room for anything else. But guess what? If you take water and you pour water in the jar, the sand's gonna move, and it's gonna fill in the gaps between the medium rocks and the large rocks. Now once the water reaches the top, then your life is completely full. So if you prioritize the important things, and what may be important to me may not be important to you, so you have to do this for you. So once you prioritize the big things, the big rocks, then the medium rocks, then the sand, then you have room to put water, and those will be icing on the cake. I don't know what your icing on the cake would be, but mine would be maybe, taking a leisure walk for the day. And it's not exercise, the gym was maybe my sand, okay? But a leisure walk, just because, walking barefoot, grounding, that would be my thing, But once I've taken care of all my important things, then I took care of the next important things. Then I took care of the other things, connecting with people and connecting with yourself, spirituality, whatever you need to do to keep you sane. And then you have room for more stuff. Then your jar is full. So that's what planning helps you do. Planning helps you sit down with a professional, a seasoned professional, someone who's been in the industry for over 20 years, sitting down with them and looking at what you would like your life to look like. And you can project it for a year. We can do it for 5 years. There's Roth IRA plans. There's insurance plans. There's, depending on your age and where you're at, you might be looking into an annuity, or maybe you're about to receive your inheritance, or maybe you have a loved one who passed away and you're going to be coming into some money. You don't want the money to come to you and then, oh my God, what do I do? You want to plan for that, especially since you've been given notification that it's coming. But don't start spending that money until it's in your hand, because a lot of times with our tax refund, people already broke and the tax return's not even done yet. We just summarize it, we finalize it with them, we tell them, hey, this is how much you're going to get back. People are already spending. So we need to be realistic. So preparation is gathering all that you've already done the previous year, compiling them, putting them into the software, putting them into the Form 1040 or 1120S for your business, or 1065 partnership, or 1120C corporation, whatever type of entity structure you have. If you're not a single 1040 person, if you're not an individual 1040 person, that's tax preparation. But tax planning is looking at your business. Like right now, we're in the second quarter of the year. So looking at the previous quarter, what happened? What was I happy with? What was I not happy with? Did I lose any clients? Did I have returning clients? Did they give a little testimonial as to why they came back? What did they like? What did they not like? We need to be testing the heartbeat of our business. Years ago, I did a workshop called Business Rescue. It was an opportunity for us to talk to different people in different arenas, different specialties. We had mental health counselors, we had nurses, we had a guy that specialized in CPR, just all these different industries. We had financial advisors, we had CPAs, we had photographers for your professional headshot for your business. We had a chef there, who also prepared some finger food for us. We had everybody there, and it was an opportunity for you to see the whole aspect of your life and what your business could look like. So we brought these people in to help you rescue your business. So if you don't do a check analysis of what's going on in your business, you're just going through the motion every day, getting up and putting out fire. If you're a nail technician, doing nails, but you're not looking like, okay, how many nail tips do I have left? How many glue sticks do I have left? Is my nail polish pink, which is the most popular one, is that running out? If you don't do an inventory of what's going on, then the day will come and you'll have clients come and then you don't have any supplies. You don't have any cotton balls, you don't have any acetone or nail polish remover. If you're a makeup artist, your brush is all dirty, you didn't get a chance to clean them, and now these people have acne, or your blush is done, or the mascara is dried up. We got to take care of our tools. The tools that allow us to make money, we have to take care of it. And the most important tool of all is you, your mind, your vision, your sense, your heartbeat, doing a little exercise, because we might sit so much on our job, or we might stand so much in our job, just balancing everything out, making time to relax, making time to eat, eating healthier. And healthier doesn't have to be keto or this type of diet. It's just healthier for you. You know, maybe cutting back on some salt, maybe cutting back on some fat, maybe cutting back on some sweets, maybe cutting back on some fried food, maybe cutting back on some rice. That's me, cutting back on some rice. We all have our weaknesses. We all have our a kryptonite that we go through. So this was Mind Your Business with Darlene Pierre-Louis. And today we talked about tax preparation versus tax planning. Tax planning can help you save a lot of money. Because when you prepare your taxes, what you've already paid, you've already paid. There are in some instances where you can have time before May 1st, which is usually a deadline, to invest some more money into a Roth IRA if you already have one, or if you're going to open one. But with planning, you can see so many other options. There's solo 401k, there's simple start, there's so many different things. There's SEPs, there's retirement plans, there's health insurance plans that you can put money aside that are tax deductible for you, and that you can use that when you go to the doctor to pay your deductible or your co-pays. So if you would like to sit down with us and you would like to see where you are right now, this is the best time to do it. Don't wait till 2025, 2026, you know, to look at what you already did in 2024 and 2025. But do it now, so that way you can prepare. You can put aside, you can have a roadmap. Let's say your goal is to put $5,000 away each quarter. That will give you time. Okay, how much do I need to put away every month? How much do I need to put away every 2 weeks if I get paid every 2 weeks, and so forth and so on. So I hope if you have any questions, you will reach out to us at the number on your screen. This was Darlene Pierre-Louis with Mind Your Business with Darlene Pierre-Louis. Have a great day on purpose.